Hello everybody and welcome to your post-match podcast here live at the Etihad Stadium, where Liverpool have just gone 11 points clear at the top of the Premier League table after a 2-0 victory over Manchester City. We are live on YouTube, as you can see. Get your comments in. I'm your host, Theo Squires. Hopefully all the audio is working okay. As I mentioned in the previous episode, we've got new microphones. You might be able to see that there. Still getting to grips with that. A little bit of a technical delay early on, so that might be why we're a little later going on air than usual. And also, I was just recording Liverpool fans for Facebook Live, so go on the Liverpool Echo LFC page if you want to see that. They were singing long and loud into the night. The fans have sung. They have decreed Liverpool are going to win the league. It's the first time we've heard the chant this season, and it was a fitting setting, wasn't it? At the Etihad, winning against Manchester City here for the first time in the Premier League since Jurgen Klopp's first visit all the way back in 2015. Arne Slotter's done it at the first time of asking. As always, thanks to our sponsors, NordVPN. Brilliant. They help us do lots, and their support is much appreciated. So yeah, we're going to basically just go over what has been a great day for Liverpool. It's been a great weekend for Liverpool, really, hasn't it? When you look at Arsenal dropping points yesterday, losing yesterday, a shock defeat. And it means that Liverpool are well on track to win the Premier League title. Dare we say it? There's still a long way to go, but that lead now 11 points. It is a lot of ground for Manchester City to make up. Get involved, get your comments in as always. And I think we'll start with a couple of them. Let's see what you've said. I think you're all just celebrating pretty much. John says, a complete performance from Liverpool. Yes, it was. But Welding Maloney? Yeah, Welding Maloney says, one game at a time, Liverpool for life. Not getting too carried away. Kiss Kasaba says, smooth as silk. LFC fan forever says, yes, get in there, Reds. Basil D, a little dig at Arsenal here. Emirates announced they're changing the slogan on the Arsenal shirt from fly better to play better. That's your comments so far. Get a few more in. You know, we love to hear them. So, yeah, Liverpool 2, Manchester City 0. Goals from Mohamed Salah and Dominic Szoboszlai here claim a convincing win for the Reds. The first one, a really smart corner kick routine. McAllister whips it in low to the near post for Szoboszlai. He lays it off to Salah. And it's a deflected finish, I think, off Nathan Ake in the end. But Salah won't care. He is now joint third in the Liverpool goal scoring charts, all time that is, with 241 goals. He's gone level with Hodgson, and that is quite frankly ridiculous. But we go through all these stats now. He's got 25 goals for the Premier League season. He's got 16 assists as well, which we'll get to shortly. And if we go to his overall returns, I think it's 40 goal contributions now for the season. He is just ridiculous form. 38 appearances, 30 goals. 21 assists. Oh, I'm way off, sorry. 51 goal contributions in all comps. It must have been the Premier League, I was thinking. Never mind. But yeah, then the second goal comes thanks to Dominic Szoboszlai. Salah gets played in down the right by Trent Alexander-Arnold. He cuts it back to Szoboszlai, and it's a low finish from the Hungarian on the edge of the box into the bottom corner to make it 2-0. Liverpool in cruise control. They have a third goal disallowed in the second half, offside by VAR. Gravenberch had played Szoboszlai in. He squared it to Curtis Jones for a simple tap-in. But unfortunately, Szoboszlai was just offside. But yeah, Liverpool in cruise control from start to finish. If we look at the stats, City, I'm guessing, have a lot of possession. 66 possession to 34%. But they didn't have the shots on goal, really. Alisson didn't have that much to do. Everything they had was straight at him. 5 shots on target to Liverpool's 4. But Liverpool took the chances, made them count. Luis Diaz has a great chance that was saved by Ederson. And Liverpool just defended really well. And something else to mention today, it was not a strange formation. We've seen Arne Slot turn to it before, but a formation with a difference from Liverpool. They went with that box midfield, you know, with Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones as two number 10s in the absence of a number 9. No striker, with Diaz on the left and Salah on the right. And it worked really well, having that extra body in there. We saw a glimpse of it a little bit at Aston Villa. Curtis Jones started on the left that day, but he did go a bit more central. I think we saw it against Brighton in the League Cup earlier this season. But it worked really well for Liverpool today. If you go through the bench, where they had Nunes there, Chiesa there, Gakpo there, Elliott there, Jota there. They didn't need any of these attacking bodies. They just got it done with the 11. I think Gakpo made his return from injury off the bench. Elliott got like a few seconds at the end, and Endo and Tsimikas and Kwanzaa came on as well. But they didn't need any of the centre forwards. They just got the job done. Got the performance got the victory in the bag. A really good 2-0 win. Soslan says, if we beat Newcastle and Arsenal lose, we're champions. I think Liverpool fans already think they're going to win the league, to be honest. They were chanting, we're going to win the league right at the end there. They've held off, but 11 points clear. It is a big gap, and it has been a monumental weekend in that Premier League title race, where Liverpool might have played one more game than Arsenal, than Nottingham Forest, City, etc., etc. But they are 20 points clear of 4th place Manchester City and 5th place Newcastle United. They are 17 points clear of 3rd place Nottingham Forest, and they are 11 points clear of 2nd place Arsenal. Newcastle United, the next side to come to Anfield, of course, midweek. That's a big game as well. Be a huge atmosphere there. Nice little dress rehearsal for the League Cup final. But it's going to be another big one for Liverpool. Can they at least maintain that 11-point lead? Or can they extend it even further? Because Arsenal, they travel to Nottingham Forest. And Liverpool know firsthand that is not an easy game. Nottingham Forest Arsenal kicks off at 7:30 on Wednesday. Liverpool are the 8:15 kickoff. So it could be interesting. By the time Liverpool kick off, we'll have a good idea of how that Forest Arsenal game is going, and if that lead is going to get extended even further. Keep your comments coming in. I'm not sure if we've got too many more at the moment, so we'll go on to Doyley's player ratings. Liverpool player ratings are superb. Dominic Szoboszlai and 2 others dominate Man City. I've not read these yet, but I'm going to agree with him in the assumption that Szoboszlai was the star man. He was superb, leading from the front in that false 9, number 10 role. He just works so hard, and he runs right until the very last second. Doyley has given him an 8, so he's not Doyley's star man. I apologise, Doyley. I've spoken for you. Doyley does give him an 8, backed up his usual hard work with a training ground assist for the first and confident finish for the second. Showed other side of his game after an interval with defensive endeavour. Salah, superb. Konate, superb. They both get 9s. Salah didn't shirk the physical challenge up against Ake and Kuznetsov. Thumped in the opener and presence of mind to create the second, put in a defensive shift 2, and Konate, one wayward pass aside, excellent display defensively before the break with a number of blocks and headers clear, maintain that level second half, particularly when helping out to deal with Doku. You run out of things to say about Mohamed Salah. Surely he is going to get a new Liverpool contract. He certainly deserves it. He scores so many, he assists so many, he is the star player in the Premier League. He is the star player in Europe. He is the favourite of the Ballon d'Or, and he is firing Liverpool towards the Premier League title. We're not going to get too carried away. There's still a long way to go, but they're getting closer and closer, and Mohamed Salah is playing a massive part. He is just an exceptional footballer, a joy to watch. And you look at so many players before him, similar age, where they get to that sort of slight drop off in those returns. They're not starting every week. We've seen it with Kevin De Bruyne here today. He started for Man City, got subbed off, I think 65th minute, didn't really do much. We saw it against Tottenham a couple of weeks ago. Son Heung-min didn't do much against Liverpool. Both players similar age who are coming to the end of their contract this summer. I think Son's already had an option activated, but Salah is the first name on this team sheet. He is the first player leading from the front. He's just the star man for Liverpool. We've got a few comments now. Mr. D says Endo was boss, came on midway through the second half and basically helped see it out. Sanjay says such a comprehensive and comfortable win, a great away performance and a clean sheet to boot. Yeah, let's not overlook a clean sheet. We know Liverpool have been a bit leaky at times defensively, but that was huge, wasn't it? It means so much to get a clean sheet against one of your rivals, and Liverpool were just looking so good at the moment. You knew they were going to raise the levels today. Where are they now? Let's have a look at the table for all those little stats and figures. So they don't have the best defence. That's still Arsenal, but their second best defence was 26. Arsenal conceded 23, but they've scored the most goals by far. They've got 64. Arsenal have scored 51. And you think of all of Arsenal's injuries, well, Liverpool, they've got a handful, but they're coping really well. It looks like a lot of work for Arsenal now to get back into this title race. We shall see. Never been more relaxed about playing City, says Greg. They were clueless. It's just another one of those games where the opposition have possession. They're getting into the final third. They're putting crosses in. They're creating chances, but they're just not getting definitive shots off. And the shots they have, they're straight at Alisson. When they get a cross in, Van Dijk clears it, Konate clears it, McAllister's there, Gravenberch's there, Endo when he came on, Curtis Jones. They just work so hard defensively. Salah down the right as well, getting back, Diaz down the left, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, then Tsimikas. They all just put in such a good shift to see out the challenges, to make sure that none of these City attacks came to anything. Like, there'll be stats going around that saying that Jeremy Doku beat Trent Alexander-Arnold time and time again. But Trent was forcing him down the touchline onto his left foot, and so many of those crosses just came to nothing. He did a good job there. For me, no more comments there. Let's have a look at the stats again. Let's see how dominant it was. Break it down a little bit more for you. Stats make City look a lot better than they were, to be honest. But look, total tackles, Liverpool 23, City 5. 1 tackles, City 1 2, Liverpool 1 14. Clearances 34, City cleared 17. Headed clearances 15, City cleared 9. Liverpool were just really, really good and solid defensively. They limited City to what they could actually threaten with, to what they could create against Alisson's goal. And it just meant that once they got the goals, they could sit back and they could just absorb the pressure and just take control, get a really good morale-boosting win. They don't win many games at the Etihad. The last one would have been in the Champions League quarter-finals back in 2018, where they won 2-1, Roberto Firmino and Mohamed Salah. So many disappointing days here since then, when you've seen City win league title after league title after league title. It's not going to be Man City this year, 20 points behind Liverpool. Arsenal, the closest side. But Liverpool, that gap is getting bigger and bigger, and they will be growing in confidence. If they can go and win against Newcastle United in midweek, then that is another giant step, and you can imagine that will be a special Anfield atmosphere. The atmosphere from the away fans was good today, singing throughout how they're going to win the league. But even though that was right at the end. But yeah, now you're going to believe us, and then we shall not be moved. All your favourites. Just times that by 100 at Anfield when they welcome the Reds back. Peter LFC says, being 65, I've seen many highs and lows. I'm feeling positive, but taking it one game at a time. He is not getting carried away by Liverpool's 11-point league at the top of the table, but they are the best team in the Premier League at the moment. They are the best team in Europe at the moment. And it's very interesting how they are running at the moment, because this is obviously a very intimidating run of fixtures they're in at the moment. Game 4 of 5, where they've beaten Wolves, they're drawn at Everton, they're drawn at Aston Villa, and they host Newcastle next midweek. But after that, they only have one Premier League game in a month. They'll also have the League Cup final against Newcastle on March the 16th. Those 2 Champions League round of 16 ties against PSG. But the next league game after that, so after Newcastle and after Southampton, is Everton at Anfield in the Merseyside derby at the start of April. So it'll be interesting to see how the league table looks when Liverpool host Everton, because Arsenal, like we've already mentioned, they've got Nottingham Forest away next. But before Liverpool have that derby in April, Arsenal have also got to face Manchester United. They've also got to face Chelsea. That gap could get bigger and bigger. So with 11 games to go for Liverpool, 12 for the rest, when we're talking, 8 games to go, 9 games to go, for the real run-in, Liverpool will look in control. They've certainly got a hell of a head start at the moment, and their players are just all putting in a shift. You've got players like Alisson Becker, Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, Andy Robertson, Trent, that have won everything. They've won the league title. They want to win it again. They want to win it with fans. But then you've got the younger generation like Konate, Diaz, Szoboszlai, McAllister, Curtis Jones, who were either bit part, or when Liverpool won it the last time in Jones's case, or have had the disappointment last year of falling short. They want to put that right, and they are looking incredible at the moment. They don't need to be 100 miles an hour like they were under Jurgen Klopp. They don't need to obliterate sides. They just need to keep control of the possession when they do it, hit sides on the counter, be patient, open up defences, create chances, and they'll take their goals. They're prolific. Darwin Núñez might miss one in midweek, he might miss one next week, but they still, as a team, take the chances when it matters. A word on Núñez, who didn't get on today. He did get a really nice reception from the away fans at the end when they came out to do the cool down, rewarded him with a wave and a thumbs up. So the travelling fans are still fully behind Darwin Núñez, despite the backlash he's received in the last few days. He'll still have a part to play in this Premier League title race. Good to see Cody Gakpo back from injury. He's missed the last 2-3 games. Didn't get to do too much against Man City, as Liverpool were defending quite deep at that point. But he was in such good form before he got that knock against Everton. So it'll be great to see him back. Whether he can start against Newcastle in midweek, we shall see. But the fact that he is back means Liverpool have the option to go to a traditional front three. Will this box midfield with the 2 10s continue? Because I thought it was really effective today, having that extra body in there. But I suppose it's a bit different doing it at the Etihad against Manchester City than at Anfield when you've got the whole fans behind you. Other Premier League results this weekend. Earlier today we saw a hell of a score, really. We saw Newcastle beat Nottingham Forest 4-3. They were 4-1 up at one point after 4 goals in 11 minutes, hung on there. So that's why the gap on Forest is that little bit bigger as well. If we go to the games yesterday, obviously Arsenal lost, which I'm sure you already knew. They lost 1-0 to West Ham United at the Emirates. Aston Villa beat Chelsea 2-1 at Villa Park. So look at it. Second place is lost. Third place is lost. Fourth place is lost. Newcastle won. Bournemouth, they lost as well, didn't they, in 6th? They lost 1-0 to struggling Wolves, but they had 10 men for most of that. So 6th lost. 7th lost Chelsea, we've already mentioned. 8th won in Aston Villa. 9th Brighton. Brighton won, they battered Southampton. 10th Fulham. They lost to Crystal Palace. When have we had a weekend like this when so many teams in the top 10 have lost games? It just means Liverpool have extended their advantage even more. Played 27, won 19, drawn 7, lost 1. 4 goals wise, 64 against 26. Goal difference 38. They are the absolute cream of the crop. And it doesn't look like anyone can stop them at the moment. Once again, they've come through another difficult run in their Premier League fixture list without losing a game. Still only 1 league defeat all season against Nottingham Forest way back in September. Still no league defeat away from home for Arne Slot, which is quite frankly ridiculous. It was the away form that cost Liverpool a little bit last year. Saw them drop points like West Ham, Manchester United, Everton towards the end of the season, but they're resilient. They're a different machine this year, and they're looking so good and so strong. We're still live on YouTube. Get your comments in. We've had plenty so far. Assessing that really impressive victory for Liverpool. I'll read out any more we get in. NordVPN, man of the match time. I'm going to give it Sabos. Well, should I give it Salah? No, I'll give it Szoboszlai because I thought Szoboszlai was brilliant again. Salah rivals him, but with Salah you just expect it now, which is maybe part of the curse with Mohamed Salah because he's so good and he is doing it every single week. He's scoring every single week. He's assisting every single week, and he is just one hell of a player. He had City on toast again. He is such a big game player as well. His record against the big teams is incredible, and City are one of his favoured opponents, believe it or not. Let's see if Transfermarkt have updated their stats. I remember I included this in a piece that went out this morning, I think. I know he's got his most assists against them. 8 assists against Man City now. Goals 13. So is that joint third? He's only scored more against Manchester United and Tottenham in his career. He just loves the big games. Like, you look at the teams he scored most against. United first with 16. Tottenham second with 15. City joint third with 13, Arsenal fourth with 11. Just loves the big occasions. He's the man you can always count on to step up and get the goals in these games. And he's just on this one-man mission to get another league title, maybe to get another Champions League title. We shall see. Can I see Arne Slot down there with Sky doing his post-match interview? He might have already done. Hard to see with the umbrellas up, but if not, I might need to rush down to the press room for his press conference. We'll hear from Pep Guardiola as well. Hopton says it's Liverpool's time. They're in a different place mentally. Hard to disagree. They just look like something else, don't they? And it'll be interesting to see what happens in the summer, because let's face it, you look at this squad, as well as a number of these players are playing, there's question marks over a few in terms of the long-term future as well, and the contracts of a few, but then the likes of Nunes, Chiesa, Elliott, the left-back situation. Liverpool could sign a number of players this summer, so the squad could be so much stronger as well. But they're taking the advantage of City being in a difficult spot, of Arsenal just having so many injuries and not looking great compared to previous years. Liverpool running away with it to build that 11-point advantage at the top of the Premier League table. Plenty of you are still tuning in, so if you do want to get your comments in before I log off, please do. Otherwise, I might call it a day so we can get down to Arne Slot's press conference. You'll notice we didn't actually have this prepped to go that much earlier than kickoff, I think. Oh, actually, no, it was actually during the game, because we don't normally do a post-match podcast away from home, because I don't always get in to the away games. So you have to forgive the lack of graphic on this one. I think we just went for a Getty image of Szoboszlai celebrating with Salah for the second goal. We'll have the audio version of the podcast going up on your usual platforms, and that'll probably have to be on the Getty image as well. So I apologise for that. I'm sure Ian Kroll will log on tomorrow morning and he'll update it with a proper fancy graphic. We make do though, don't we? We've at least got the new microphone out that's working nice and well, or at least I assume it is, because none of you have commented saying you can't hear me very well. We're coming up to what? Just gone 7, 7:05 now. We've been on air for 29 minutes. I know we started a little later than advertised, so it's probably been 20 minutes. So that might do us for today, your usual post-match podcast. As normal, thanks to NordVPN, great sponsors, really help us do what we do. It's because of them we can afford stuff like this new microphone. Thank you to all you guys for tuning in. I'll let you be. Enjoy the rest of your evening after a brilliant Liverpool win. Stick with us at the Echo website and the Blood Red channel with the Blood Red podcast tomorrow to talk over Man City all over again. I'll have company for that one. I should be joined by Ian Doyle and Paul Gorst. And on the website, you'll have all their usual bits. Read Doyley's player ratings in full. Read Gorsty's verdict, Doyley's analysis, and all the quotes from Arne Slot, Pep Guardiola, and maybe a player if we are lucky. We will have a slight change in the post-match podcast, hopefully, in the next couple of weeks. Maybe not in Newcastle, but hopefully Southampton or Everton at the very least. We're hoping to go back to two-man and have a host, so I'll have a little bit of company. So that's something to look out for in the future. But yeah, we'll still go through all your comments because it's great to hear from you. Great to enjoy another Liverpool victory with all you guys. It's funny, when we did the first one this season, it was Nottingham Forest. I think that's the only post-match podcast we've done this season where Liverpool have lost. So fingers crossed that runs until the end of the season. I've been Theo Squires. Thanks as always to all you guys for tuning in. And until next time, have a good evening.